Just recently, we've done a bunch of industry surveys. And one of the questions which was consistent across all three of them was, and this was honestly genuinely a surprise to us, of course we asked them, do you have an ERP system, do you have a CRM, it's basic data gathering. But then we basically asked them, well, what do you want to do with them? And I'm serious, in every one, an overwhelming majority basically said, we want to get rid of them in 3 years.
Yeah.
That's revolutionary.
Yeah.
I swear, if we'd done that kind of research 5 or 6 years ago, we would not have had those.
Yeah, and that's what makes it uniquely exciting for us as Hyland, is it's upended the center of gravity of how to think about productivity in an enterprise from I'm going to build a SaaS app that's going to make my business teams more productive to I'm going to leverage data as my center of gravity and then drive intelligence and automation from there. So for us, we've been refining our craft around unstructured data, documents, images, audio, video, for 3 decades. And so we find ourselves in a uniquely exciting time to take this multi-decade expertise and foundation and deliver radical and new value to our customers with this completely upended approach to start with the data, then proceed to the workflows, and then leverage the appropriate AI models, predictive or otherwise, Gen AI models, large language models, small language models, to accomplish rudimentary tasks to even ultimately more complex workflows.
Stuff's everywhere, data's everywhere, and it's always going to be that way. And to me, that's been one of the biggest obstacles to modernization, because it's like, oh, well, we've got to tidy that up all into one place first. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Stuff's going to be in email servers. It's going to be in OnBase. It's going to be in Alfresco. It's going to be in Documentum. It's going to be in SharePoint. It's going to be in Box. So when you're going to your customers now, when your teams go to your customers in the coming year, what's their message to them? Because I think the perception is the customers think, oh, we're not ready for this.
Our DNA has always been meet our customers where they are. Meet their data where it is, meet their processes where they are, and it extends in this AI-enabled world that we're accelerating into and through. That requires a radical redefinition of what has historically been enterprise content management. Historically, enterprise content management is take all of my data, typically the most sensitive, the most beholden to regulatory compliance, and now migrate it into some content management system, do some records management, do some governance, compliance reporting, versioning, et cetera, And sure, that happened, but that didn't prevent data from proliferating and being in several other instances of SharePoint and et cetera, in legacy content management systems like FileNet, as well as more newer relevant ones. So our philosophy is we're going to meet their data where it is, and for that you need to move from migrating everything to meeting our customers' data in a federated architecture, and start with delivering value first. And as a customer of ours, a large global insurer out of Switzerland said, and give me the option to migrate when I'm good and ready, but I love that you're going to AI enable me first wherever my data is.
Deep analysis, we use the term unstructured data a lot because we find IT gets that, right? They get that. But often when you're talking to the people who are buying, implementing, actually using software, they don't understand these key differences. So for me, that's an ongoing educational thing. But you touched on the fact that ECM was, let's be honest, it was about sort of locking down stuff, and with good reason, actually, of the time. But what you actually did was you locked down the file. So if anybody wanted to know what was in the file, they had to open the file, right?
Yeah.
We're moving into a world now where AI essentially takes that step out to a large degree, right? It can read what's in the file, it can understand, it can process, which ties into the robotic thing. For me, that's a huge change. And for, Hyland's got a long history in sectors like government and healthcare and financial services. I assume, I'm pretty sure, they're sitting on huge amounts of unstructured data that they currently don't leverage.
Yeah, that's the exciting opportunity for the space. Is, as I was mentioning earlier, the most mission critical stuff needs to be protected. Credit reports, bank statements, et cetera, et cetera. So it's put into this thing and locked down because it's critical, it's sensitive. But large language models, small language models, Gen AI in particular, are architected and built for this very type of unstructured data. So the opportunity to deliver value as a unstructured data management provider, what's historically been called content management for Hyland, is immense. We view ourselves as the custodian of unstructured data for enterprises across industries. You can imagine the kind of data we are custodians of in healthcare: patient records, provider records, referrals, medical images, X-rays, endoscopies, mammographies, et cetera, et cetera. And actively, the conversations we're having with CIOs at some of the largest healthcare systems in the US and globally is, well, how can we use a combination of your predictive ML as well as large language models, as well as domain-specific models that we've built for healthcare?